So I trained like a jack dude, but I was still skinny. This is the topic of today's video that I want to talk about. It's going to be a couple sections. They're going to be real quick. I'm going to try to go through them pretty fast. Section 1, we're going to go over the skinny guy frustration, aka what the problem is. After that, I want to go over the uncomfortable truth, what this video is going to do for you and what the plan forward could be. We're going to go over a quick CTA. We're going to go over a couple mistakes here, just 3 of them. Mistake number 1 being the volume trap. Number 2 is exercise selection mismatching. Number 3 is recovery and fueling oversight. So we'll go through those real quick, try to make this video nice and short for you. Let's go over section 1. Section 1, there's a chance, you're a skinny guy, you hit the gym hard. You're just copying jack guys' workouts that you might see online. But are you still skinny? You might be doing the work, but you might not be seeing results on your frame. My own personal experience is I was that guy before. I grew up skinny. I looked up to a bunch of huge guys that I found online. I tried to copy their routines, but for a while, nothing was changing. I've been skinny, I've been overweight, and I've successfully put on a significant amount of muscle over the years. I've also lost fat, and I've done both of these things a couple times, and I've done all of that completely naturally. I've also helped other guys do the same. I've trained countless guys in the gym, the weight room. I've helped guys training in basketball as well. I've helped them lose weight. I've helped them put on muscle as well. And over the time, I've got 15 years as a natural lifter. I've never taken any drugs, performance-enhancing drugs or anything like that. On top of my 15 years of natural lifting, I also have over a decade of just personal research that I've done on my own, whether that be note-taking, research, studying videos, studying form, experimenting in the gym. I've taken countless different exercise courses that I forgot how many I've bought over the years. I've paid thousands of dollars for courses over the years on top of that. Okay, real quick, we'll go to section 2. Section 2, what is the promise here? I'm going to reveal the most uncomfortable truth, how copying these guys' routines that you find online is actually keeping you skinny. You'll discover the fundamental misalignment for your body type. And the goal for the video is to show you your own custom approach that you actually are going to need for your certain case scenario to actually put on muscle naturally. Ignore this. I'm not typing any of this out. This is just here. So the plan. I'm going to go over 3 critical reasons why your generic Instagram workout routines are failing you as a skinny dude. Number 1 is the volume trap. Number 2 is exercise selection mismatch. And number 3 is recovery and fueling oversight. We're going to go over how my tailored approach can address these issues and help you build muscle actually efficiently. Section 3, just a quick heads up. If you want a complete A to Z system, I offer tailored nutrition or tailored training, nutrition, mindset, and coaching. This is all viewable in the link in the description below. Down below, you can find a free training. We can book a one-on-one strategy call where we can talk about what's working for you, what's not working for you, and maybe you can even check out my comprehensive fitness program. If you're a skinny dude, if you're young, if you're trying to do all this naturally, maybe you've been struggling to put on muscle for the past few years and you're finally tired of it, hit me up. This is, if you fit all that criteria, you might be the exact demographic that I'm looking to help. Section 4, let's just keep blasting through this real quick. Mistake number 1, aka the volume trap. Quick subheading here. More isn't always going to be better for hard gainers, especially for you in your case scenario. So what's the problem here? A lot of skinny guys try to match the sheer volume of training that a lot of these bigger experienced lifters are doing. They might do 20 sets for chest, thinking they have to do that every time they do a chest workout. What a lot of people don't tell you is that these bigger dudes have different bodies. A lot of them are enhanced, a lot of them are on drugs, and a lot of them have way better recovery than you actually do. If you're just, you have to excuse my dog, she's walking around. And someone's getting some DoorDash. If you're a natural skinny dude, doing too much volume, aka overtraining, along with poor recovery is not going to help with your gains. If anything, there's a chance you're going to get hurt, and it's going to make your gains actually worse. So what is the actual solution here? The solution here is to focus on quality over actual quantity. So that might mean doing fewer sets, but you actually want to increase the intensity, and you want to make sure you're focused on actual progressive overload. So what does that mean? That means instead of doing 20 sets of chest, you might only do, 3 to 6 sets of chest, but during those sets, you're really focused on your form. You're taking your time with the exercise. You're not just bouncing up and down. If you're on the bench press, you want to come up with your bench press fast, come down real slow, as far as you can. You want to feel the stretch, and then you want to come up fast if you're able to. And on top of that, you want to focus on progressive overload, which is basically just each time you work out, if you can, you want to either focus on increasing the reps. If you can't increase the reps, maybe you can increase the weight, and vice versa. The strategic approach too, on top of that, is you want to focus on compound movements. So as a skinny guy, for the most part, this is going to be your bread and butter. This is a big chunk of what you want to focus on in the gym. So your compound movements, everything with a barbell, your bench press, your overhead press if you're trying to hit shoulders, your barbell rows, your squat, your deadlift, etc. If you focus on getting stronger on those lifts, you're definitely going to put on some weight and size if you're doing it properly, along with progressive overload and that high intensity like I mentioned before. You pair that with the right nutrition and the right, make sure you're hitting your calories every day, making sure you hit your protein goals every day, you're going to grow. And you don't want to just be piling on junk volume. So, that could mean throwing on 20 sets of shoulder raises or something for your delts. That might be good here and there, but if you're doing that every time in the gym, you might be wasting your time. So how can I personally relate to this? Personally, I've done a ton of different splits over the years, including bodybuilder splits that were 2 hours a day, 6 times a week. It might have worked a little bit here and there, but overall, I was constantly sore. I felt like I was barely getting any progress, and I felt like I was always tight. I was always sore. I feel like I wasn't recovering fast enough. So what was the breakthrough moment for me? It was when I drastically cut my volume. I focused on hitting my muscles just 2 or 3 times a week with fewer sets, but I would go heavier, and I would do compound lifts, and I would focus on that. And I would just prioritize on getting stronger or being able to do more reps on a certain exercise. That helped tremendously, and when I started doing that consistently, I felt like I was actually putting on size, and I was actually able to notice my body getting bigger. Just a quick heads up, my program offers an entire muscle building program. It's 8 to 12 weeks long. It's got a full training blueprint along with progressive overload. I even offer alternative workout schedules such as 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day options for your split. If you don't want to do a certain split, you can try another one. I'm even creating some 6 and 7 day splits if you love being in the gym, because there's not a problem with that. If you want to go and it makes you happy, feel free to do that too. Okay, section 5, we're going to go over mistake number 2, which is exercise selection mismatch. Okay. Real quick, I'll try to bust through this. Why isolation isn't your priority? What's the problem here? A lot of these jacked guys, they focus on isolation exercises all day. For example, endless curls. Skinny guys try and copy this, thinking it builds big arms, but the truth is that it doesn't. Jacked dudes can do this because a lot of those guys are on gear and they recover super fast, so they can do a bunch of curls and destroy their biceps, and their biceps will have no problem healing within 1 or 2 days. If you're a skinny, natural, young dude and you're not on drugs and you try to do this, you're just going to tear up your biceps, and you might be out, your biceps might need an entire week to recover. So you want to train smarter, but you also want to train harder. So the solution here, for a skinny, natural guy, you really want to prioritize your compound movements. So what does that mean? You want to think about your squats, your deadlifts, your bench press, your overhead press if you're trying to hit shoulders. These lifts are the most involved for your body, and they're going to drive the most systemic hormonal response for overall growth. Isolation exercises are perfectly okay. You can do them, but I really suggest you do them after you've gotten strong at these lifts. That way you're maximizing your time while you're in the gym. You know, the way I do it now that I have time in the gym and I've got a good start is I do all my compounds first. I focus on those big muscle groups, and then after that I spend time on isolation exercises. So, how does this relate to me? You know, back in the day when I was first starting to train, I was obsessed with arms. I would literally sit there and do curls and curls just like I mentioned up here. So what happened after that? Well, you know, my arms started to get a little bit bigger, but everything else looked small, and it was disproportionate, and it made my frame and body look kind of off. So what did I do instead? I shifted to heavy compound lifts, and my entire body started to grow, including my arms too. All right, we're busting through. We're on the last mistake here. Section 6, mistake number 3. We're going to go over recovery and fueling oversight. They can recover, you can't. So what's the problem here? A lot of these super jacked guys that you find online, Instagram, YouTube, these gurus, a lot of them are enhanced, a lot of them are on drugs, and they can recover super quickly compared to you. That's why you see a lot of these guys that are on these bodybuilder splits where they do an arm day, back day, chest day, shoulder day, leg day. That's because they can train those muscle groups and recover within 1 or 2 days, sometimes even 1 day. So what is the solution here? Your body builds muscle when it recovers and has adequate fuel. So what exactly does this mean? It means that you're prioritizing your sleep. You know, you're getting your full 7 to 8 hours, for some people 9. You're managing your stress, because the more stressed you are, the harder your body is, the harder of a time your body's going to have trying to recuperate and build muscle. You need to focus on your recovery protocols. Excuse me. So, you know, it's not just about going to the gym. It's about what you do outside of the gym too. It's about stretching. If you don't want to get hurt, you do your pre-stretch. Focus on stretching after. You know, you get your proper rest in. You can focus on your GPP. All of those kind of things. What else is super important is that you need to make sure you're constantly hitting your caloric surplus every day, along with hitting your macros, like your protein, your carbs, and your fats. Ideally, as a skinny natural dude, what's going to be most important is hitting your calories and your protein. If you hit those every day, you hit your calorie goal and your protein goal, along with training hard enough in the gym, I promise you, you're going to grow. In other words, you need to treat your recovery and your nutrition just as important as your training. They should be 50-50. My story, how do I relate to that? You know, I used to train super hard, but I didn't really sleep that much. Back in the early days of high school, I was training all the time, but I'd sleep like 5-6 hours every night. I was constantly stressed on top of that, between homework, between trying to manage a girlfriend, between sports and basketball. A lot of the times I underate, so, you know, I was constantly tired. I felt like my lifts weren't increasing. I was plateauing. So what was the breakthrough moment? The breakthrough moment for me is when I finally started to do my own research, take the time to understand recovery and nutrition. And, you know, I started to learn that those things needed to match my training effort just as much if I wanted to be successful as like a natural skinny lifter. All right, section 7. We're going to go ahead and close out the video here. That's pretty much everything. Quick summary. You now know why copying these jack dudes on the internet is keeping you skinny. The issue is the volume, the exercise selection, making sure you're recovering properly and fueling your body the way it needs. To be honest, you know, these are tough truths, but these are something you need to understand if you want to make it as like a young, skinny, natural lifter. So for me, I built a complete A to Z solution for these young, skinny, natural men who have these exact challenges that they're trying to face. You know, I've been in your shoes. I've been skinny for years. And once I finally learned how to put on muscle as like a young, natural, skinny dude, everything changed. I've got a school community. I'll put it in the description, the link below. You can check it out. I also offer a fitness program that covers everything. It's got a muscle building program, a nutrition guide. I've got how to optimize your sleep. I've got recovery protocols like cold exposure, heat exposure, how to stretch properly, that kind of thing. I even have a whole module on skinny guy mindset because, let's be honest, you can still go to the gym and train and eat and take care of your diet and nutrition like that. But if you don't have the right mindset, you're just going to burn out and you'll quit before you start to see results. Skull community also comes with an exclusive brotherhood and accountability and direct support for me. This is in terms of that there's going to be other guys just like you who are in the same shoes, also going through the same goals. It's come with a bunch of trackers, cheat sheets, and adaptation plans. It's a complete done-for-you system. So if you want to check that out, like I said, link in, I keep saying link in bio because I wrote that here, but links in the description below. If you want, you can schedule a free one-on-one training with me or a free strategy call. We can talk about your goals, talk about what's working for you, what's not working for you, and maybe I can help you out. So if you're interested, check it out. Peace out, guys. See you next time.